Cyndi Lauper has always mixed so many genres in her music, including, of course, new wave. But that's not all she mixes, as I discovered from reading her memoir. One of the biggest takeaways among many great insights and amazing things I learned was that she really was and is a mixologist. So in this video, I want to talk about 3 ways that Cyndi Lauper mixes things from so many places. First of all, a mix of genres in so many songs. Secondly, a mix of her life into her art. And thirdly, mixing visual, film, and sound all together. I'm Erin, this is Newish Wave. Thanks for watching. We're gonna get started with She's So Unusual, which shows us a couple great examples of Cyndi Lauper mixing genres and many examples of her mixing art with her music. So in mixing genres, Cyndi Lauper says in her memoir that her music is a collage of everything. And on the She's So Unusual album, you can hear so many influences from reggae to blues to new wave to pop, right? I want to share with you one of my favorite moments where she talks about the Money Changes Everything song and how she intentionally worked to get more kind of flavors of music in there. And so she says that she would say, can we start this off a little differently? Make believe you're playing London Calling. And then indeed, she says, yeah, if you listen to Money, you can hear influences of The Clash. Totally different. Let's look at Girls Just Want to Have Fun, where it was reggae that she's infusing there. She asked someone in her band to play reggae music, but with the chords they'd already decided on for Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and then asked the guitarist to bring in some Motown. And then they arrived at what they were hoping for, which I found out in here was kind of that anthem feel that song ended up having. So she's always mixing genres, right? You can hear it all over the place, and even to this day, you know, I learned Cyndi Lauper, of course, is out there still performing and sticking up for people all over the world, as she's always done, still bringing in so many influences as she's worked with so many people from diverse genres. But another fascinating aspect of the memoir was that so much of Cyndi Lauper's music comes from her own life. Whether it's something visual on an album cover or someone in a video, so many of her family members were in the videos. In fact, it's her mom who breaks an egg on herself about not being the fortunate ones in Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And so Cyndi Lauper is constantly bringing in moments from her life, and so I wanted to share some examples from this album cover. So first of all, she's from Queens, and here we are fairly close on Coney Island. And she brought in, you know, she's barefoot somewhere important to her. She brought in a chain to show the chaining of women in society. She did a variety of things. She brought her flowers to suggest this other South American piece she liked. And then she even cut out Van Gogh's art, Starry Night, to put on the soles of her shoes for the back. Well, he was one of her favorite artists. She was an art student originally and a great visual artist in general. And she had this theory about if you look at the soles of someone's feet, you see the way they walk through the world. So kind of a cool gesture to put walking through the world on art on her very album cover. And in lyrics as well, Time After Time provides a great example where we hear things like, lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Well, she had an apartment with one of her partners, you know, over the course of life, and they would hear the clock from across the room. It had a loud tick. And they even had a conversation about another timepiece where the second hand was unwinding. And she captured that poetically with the second hand unwinds and how that adds that expression to the song. So we can see how between mixing genres and elements from her life, we're really getting this multi-layered piece of art, right? Performance art, as she later calls it in the memoir. So let's get on to that third one, where I would say Cyndi Lauper is committing acts of synesthesia, did it, by mixing film, color, sound, and so much more. And so in this case, I would say in addition to mixing genres and things from her life, Cyndi Lauper is mixing senses here, right? So I'm going to share a couple quotes from the memoir that captured this really well, I thought. For one, working on videos, I saw the possibility of film moving like music. And then a longer example when she was performing in 1985 at the American Music Awards and threw paint around, right? Why did she do that? Well, let's see. While I sang, I swished color onto the set. To TV viewers, it looked like I was turning a black and white image into color. I wanted to bring art into people's homes. I was hell-bent on mixing art and music, the visual and the sound and the story, and I basically cut open a vein on stage. I wanted to be larger than life, to be better than who I was, to look completely different. I became a painting. And so a lot of these insights that I gained from the memoir really gave me even more appreciation for Cyndi Lauper's work, not only her music, but her work within the music industry and in society as well. And I just loved seeing her as this person who's living her life and her songs and her choices as performance art. And that was really inspiring to me, and to see someone out there still doing all these amazing things. So thank you, Cyndi Lauper. And I hope you may have enjoyed some of what I shared that I really gained from this book, that she was and is a mixologist.